Hot-blooded,
Alrighty.
check it and see.
Turf, not right now.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Salutations, everyone. Welcome to episode 11 of Our Parents' Basement, a wonderful podcast where sometimes we will sing for you, but not right now. We'll save it for later. So last week we answered your questions, and if you missed out on that, that's okay. You can go to our website and relive all the fun. And remember, if you have questions for us, we'll answer them at some point, just, not in the next episode. But we will get to you. I promise you that. That being said, we have returned to the video game theme of Our Parents' Basement tonight. We have some great stuff to talk about. I'm really excited about it. So before we do our deep dive, we're going to do our introductions. So yeah, here we go. I am the host for the evening, the crazy and creative Cashel. And with me this evening, we have the terrific yet tender Turf. He's here.
That's this guy. How you doing?
We got the zesty and zany Zach Z. He's here as well.
Okay, yeah, those things don't really describe me at all, but go on.
Just go with it.
I think you're zesty.
Yeah.
You're very zesty.
Are you zestfully clean?
And we have the magnificent and marvelous Mr. Nikon as well.
What's up?
Well, welcome everyone. And if you all recall, I believe it was our second episode when we talked a little bit about imports and some of our favorite import titles, where to import, that sort of thing. Tonight, for our first topic, we are going to do more of a deep dive into the wild and crazy world of importing. I know everyone here on this panel has done their fair share of import gaming, and we are going to share some of our favorites. We're going to talk about what to look out for, what to avoid, that sort of thing. As a person who loves studying Japanese, I can tell you right now I adore importing because not only do I get to play a game that I have an interest in, but it helps me, touch up and exercise my language skills as well. So that's another reason why I enjoy importing, but we'll get to that in a minute. For now, let's see, Mr. Nikon, I know you kind of brought this idea back up. You're a big importing kind of guy. Why do you like to import?
Me import?
Yeah.
Never.
You half Asian, you?
I'm
Why?
importing. It's fun to get some different variations on the games. Like it's fun to get Zelda on the Famicom Disk System. The sound is so much different on here because with the Famicom Disk System they have a FM synth chip in there, so the music is much deeper and there's more tones it could produce. And also,
Okay.
you could get other games like get your Doki Doki Panic.
Yep.
The real Mario 2, right there. So, and also, I don't know, it's just fun. There's so many games that didn't get released here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Like something like Parodius.
Ah, yes.
This is a fun but weird fucking game.
Giant bunny girl running missiles shooting at a giant baby.
Pretty much. And you're attacking a giant flying cat ship that meows when you shoot it.
That's what I was thinking of. Don't know why that's baby.
Nothing crazy.
And also, you could get games that are cheaper.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Rockman X2, Rockman 7. I think, I forget what I paid for these, but for both of them, I paid $45.
And normally their localized English parts are double that just for one, without the box manual stuff included, just for the cartridge.
Yeah, just for the
Ridiculous.
yeah. They're what, $200 for some of these? It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And something, say to look out for when buying the Disk System games, they had rewriting kiosks. So you could take Zelda, put it in the kiosk, and put Versus Excitebike on it. Which
That's pretty
is
cool.
what happened when I got this Zelda game. I popped it in, and just right after I got my twin Famicom, it wasn't reading right, so I realigned the read head, put it in about to play Zelda, and it's freaking versus Excite Bike.
Huh.
Like, really? So I just emailed the seller who I got this from on eBay. They're like, okay, we'll send you out a replacement one, which would have Zelda on it, and they didn't ask for this back, which is nice.
Interesting.
So,
Cool. A lot of variety there.
yeah.
Your important reasons. Well, what about you, Turf?
I didn't get to the dream.
Oh, are you done? You're not done, are you? I just cut you off. Sorry about that.
Also got some Dreamcast games too, which is another fun one. Like the King of Fighters, 2002, which never saw a release in the U.S. originally.
Wait, that didn't
Pretty
come
fun
out here?
fighting game.
I thought that came here for some reason.
I don't think
That's not the one with Bud on it, is it?
no. Maybe. Maybe.
It might be.
No, I don't. Y'all remember when we were at Louisville that King of Fighters game we were playing?
Yeah.
Had to do with the afro and the like the karate gi, and his name was Butt.
Yeah, I remember Butt.
Is he on here?
All right.
I don't
I
remember.
never forget a Butt. That's just me.
And
You're
also,
a
of
gentleman.
course, not too many Godzilla games made it here. So,
Right.
and I'm like, love my Godzilla and Gamera and all that stuff.
Godzilla. Oh, Godzilla.
Love my kaiju. But yeah, it's fun importing. Anyway, I'm done for now.
That's okay. No, I cut you off. Turf, what about you? Why do you like to import stuff?
Well, one of the things that I guess I like about importing is that we get games that never came over here, or games that we got a kind of a version of, or a watered down version, or things like that. If we're gonna go ahead and go into like specific titles and stuff, that one of my favorite things that I have imported is there you go. How about that guy? Kid Dracula for the Famicom. It's a game that we just never got here, and we got a Game Boy version of it that's okay, it's good, but it's not as good as the Famicom version. It's a little watered down, like I said. It's man, it's just such. There's extra things, more things that we didn't get. That the only way that you can find them now, or you can play them, or you'll be able to play them, is either through emulation, which is questionable morals, maybe, possibly. I do it anyways. Or if you want the physical copy of something, you have to. Thanks to the world that is the internet, we can bring stuff in from overseas. So that's my big thing for importing. You get stuff that we just didn't get here, or better versions, or different, maybe just different things that we got that are just, or that we may have got over here, but they're a little bit different for another region.
Cool.
Yeah, there are like dozens and dozens of games that didn't make
That's all
it
I
out
got.
to the US.
I mean, I got stuff to show, but we can get back to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
what about you,
there's
Zexy?
a lot of really good games that.
That's the second time I did that. What was that, Turf?
Said there's a lot of
Dragon.
good games that didn't make it out here.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
I'm good. Go ahead.
No, I keep on cutting people off. This is bad manners. All right, Zexy, let's try this again. Why do you like to import some of your stuff?
Well, I mean, like what was said, a lot of it tends to be cheaper than just play games that I wouldn't otherwise have gotten to play. I mean, it all started with this one right here, Tales of Fantasia.
Good one. So good.
Do you need some time on cash?
Maybe. And a bottle of Jergens,
Lotion.
but we'll get to that later. Off camera.
But yeah, I mean, and we're just a lot of this stuff tends to be cheaper. I mean, the second one I got was Chrono Trigger for $20, and that's complete in box.
Yeah.
You know, at the time, just a card only was $85, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was more right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a lot of games you didn't get to play, or just ones that are digital around here but physical elsewhere. That's like the Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that got a physical release over in Japan and China. This is the Hong Kong version. Hong Kong version. And it's got the English voice acting in it. So in English text so you can actually play it. And even so, with games like Tales of Fantasia, there are fan translations out there that you can actually go and play the games.
Hmm.
Still waiting on one for Sakura Wars, though.
Is that in the works? Because that's a lot of text to translate.
I don't know if it is or not, but
And there's a lot of Sakura Wars titles as well, so they would have their work cut out for them.
So like Sakura Wars 4 was like 3 discs, I think.
oh God, let me.
I got it inside. I didn't grab it,
That's okay.
but
I got one and two on the Saturn there, and they got the 3 discs.
Yeah, so lots of. I mean, they're very text-heavy games, and if there was translation efforts going on, I'm not surprised it's taking this long.
Yeah, and you know what? There's also the Game Boy games. I'm surprised nobody has translated yet, at least.
So, very cool. Well, as for me, like I said, I study Japanese in some of my spare time because I'm just that cool. So, getting a chance to play a game in the language is kind of a treat. But another thing that I like about importing is, and that was already kind of touched upon, is it's a cheaper alternative. For a while, I wanted to play this game called Snatcher. It's available in America on the Sega CD, and there's no way in hell I'm going to get a Sega CD for one. The game itself is crazy expensive, so thanks to a trade with a friend on BG Collect, where we all met, I have in the frame the PlayStation 1 version, and I finished it not too long ago, and it was great. I had so much fun with this. It's such a cool game. And that's just one example. I mean, if there's a way you can either power through the game without caring too much about the story, or if there's a translation patch, or if you just want to own the game because you're a collector, I mean, importing is just such a great way to go instead of trying to find the localized alternative, especially with some of these rarer games. Like Zach mentioned Chrono Trigger. So I think Chrono Trigger was expensive since day one. I have never, ever seen a copy for less than $50 in my lifetime, and that's even when the Super Nintendo was still like the popular current system. So, Zach, you said you imported Chrono Trigger, and you probably didn't pay that much for it.
No,
Right.
like I said, $20.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I just recently
awesome.
bought the DS version for $20. So.
Oh well, so you got two versions, which is great. Chrono Trigger is awesome.
Technically 3 because of the Final Fantasy Chronicles.
Oh, Chronicles. Oh yeah. You just
So I
all
heard
Chrono Triggered out. So, but yeah, I just think importing is it's such a great way to save a little bit of money and play something that you want to play without the high cost. But of course, like anything, importing does have a few flaws, and the one I dislike the most is the waiting. If you import something, chances are you have a long time until it'll arrive to your doorstep.
Depending on how you got it shipped.
Yeah.
If you do EMS, which is the Express,
Yeah.
if you got a lot of games that could get pricey. But if you just do normal, a lot of them are sending registered mail,
Yeah.
which it has been usually taking about a week and a half. I had one that when registered, it took 3 weeks.
Yeah, pretty much the big problem with just importing in general is the stuff going through customs.
Mm-hmm.
I know that
Sometimes
I know that people with the limited run games are having problems over in France with customs.
Yeah.
So that
Okay.
that just
I can
kind of
make-
gives you a
Well,
current
and
example.
with the popularity, I guess, of game collecting, and the internet has made the world a smaller place for 20 years now. There's a lot of people that are stateside that are in the United States that sell imported games that have massive amounts of Japanese and European games. I got what did I get? Oh, I got 3 Famicom games that from somebody that was selling them here. I found a Japanese. I don't think it's Japanese. I don't know. Diddy Kong Racing. I actually found this in Arkansas, in Conway, Arkansas, in a game store. So I mean,
Wow.
they do show up.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I mean, it's been
this-
popular for a while.
I found this Super Mario Kart for the Super Famicom at my local video game store.
I picked up Bomberman 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C-Dam, Bomber World, all 7 of those games from some guy in New Jersey, and all 7 of them cost me like $60 to get them all shipped from New Jersey to here.
Yeah, if you do enough hunting, you can find stuff locally. I found Romancing Saga 3 for the Super Famicom at a game store here, and it was complete. I only paid $7 for it. So, I mean,
And if you find them here, they're a lot of times they're a lot cheaper because nobody wants them.
mhm,
You know, if they're
exactly.
sitting in a game store, they'll sit there forever because nobody's going to want the Japanese game because they can't, they can't read it
Can't
or
read it. Yeah.
can't play it. Or I guess you could play it, but you can't read the text. So
Yeah.
they'll sit in a local store for a long time.
For a story-heavy RPG, I can understand not wanting to read the text or not wanting to, play it without understanding what's going on. But, with the Kid Dracula example or the Diddy Kong example or the Bomberman example, I mean, there's nothing much to read. So I would say if you
Without a
see
doubt.
something there, try it.
Without a doubt. And my local game store, before it shut down, had a copy of Yoshi's Island and one of the Bomberman games for Super Famicom. And I never did buy it. I think he wanted too much for it. I could have bought it off eBay cheaper. But anyways, that's a different story.
Yeah.
It's a lot of times they are. They're cheaper here than what they would be online if you find it, because, like I said, they sit for a long time. And most people that we're pretty deep in the collecting video game circle. We know more than, and I'm not bragging or being ha-ha about any of it, but we spend more time thinking about this stuff than the average person. It's probably unhealthy, but the average person is going to walk past that and go, it's a Japanese game. I don't have a Japanese system, even though you could stick that thing in your Retron 5 and it'll play just fine.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
cut the tabs out of your Super Nintendo, get an action replay for your Sega Saturn. I got a Codebreaker type disc for my Dreamcast and a freeloader disc for my GameCube.
Yeah.
There's ways to actually play this stuff without getting a Japanese system.
Yeah, there's ways around it.
And not to
I had
mention,
a PlayStation
Xbox One
back in the
and
day.
PS4 are region free. Also,
The
the
PlayStation
PS3, I
1
believe.
had the ones that had a serial port in the back. You could get I believe it was a game action replay that would plug into that, and then you had to put a spring on the inside of it that went down in a little hole. Why the spring was there, I'm not really sure, but it wouldn't work without it. Anyway, I played like Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22. I think that was the one that I had for PlayStation 1 that you had to have. That was the first thing I ever imported. I found it in a game store in Jonesboro, Arkansas, when I was in college. And me and a buddy said we got into Dragon Ball for a minute when it was on Toonami. We're like, man, well, Dragon Ball, we got to get this, because there wasn't any Dragon Ball games. So we got it, and it wasn't a very good fighting game, but it was my first taste of importing.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't. I wish I still had that. I don't know what happened to it over the years, but the game action replay. But there you go. That was another way, because you could. It was just a regular old U.S. PlayStation.
And the PSP is also region free, and that's what the majority of my importing games are on, is a PSP. So, just some food for thought.
Yeah, I almost bought this big wholesale lot on eBay, or I bid on it. I almost won it. Someone outbid me in the last second. It was like a lot of 100 Super Famicom games, and by the time it finished, I did $175 on it, and by the time it finished, some guy bid $200 on it. So it would have probably been like $220 plus shipping to come here,
Yeah.
and that would have been a pretty good deal,
Yeah.
Get 100 games for what, $200?
I'll tell you, that is one thing you have to look out for, though. I bought this Probotector 2. It's the European version of Contra. I bought it from France because, well, I like the PAL region NES games because I can read them, for one. And anyways, I think they have neat label art. This is, like I said, Super C or Contra 2. Anyways, the game I think I paid like $70 for. Shipping was like 40 to come
Wow.
from. Apparently, shipping from France is very expensive, and dude charged me actual shipping. It was 28.75 euro. So whatever that translates to dollars, I think it's about $40. But yeah, I paid nearly over half of what the game was in shipping for this. So you got to be careful where you ship or you order things from. I guess I bought another game from Germany, the first Pro Protector, and it was only like $15 shipping. So that's just something you got to look out for.
And speaking of which, where does everyone like to do their import shopping? Like I usually just do Amazon or eBay. Sometimes I'll do Play Asia if it's something I really want. But Mr. Nikon mentioned eBay. And Turf, what about you? You said you just find that guy from France like on.
It was on
how'd you find
eBay.
eBay as well?
Yeah, I was searching eBay, and that's really about the only place that I know that I can consistently find stuff. There's a few eBay sellers that have stores of their own, I guess, or online stores for in the U.S., so you wouldn't have to worry about it there. But the everything I've found has been on eBay. That's the most consistent place to find stuff. As awful as it is, as much as I'd rather find stuff out in the wild, you're just, I've been hunting for years and I found one Japanese game, like in the box, and one Japanese Nintendo 64 game. So I don't come across it, especially in my circle in Arkansas. I just don't find it. So eBay is a necessary evil, I guess. It's as much as we like to complain about it and it driving prices up and all that jazz, it does make the world a lot smaller, and it's easy to find stuff from anywhere, any reach of the world,
Yeah,
honestly,
exactly.
A lot of the Japanese sellers on here, they're super nice. Sometimes you'll get extra stuff in the package. I got a game like last month, and guy said I could get a packet of green cheese with it.
That was nice.
And, another guy opened the thing.
That Pro Protector that I bought, that one that came from Germany, came with a German pack of gummies. And I was just wanting to hang on to them. I was going to show them to y'all. I'm like, hey, look, I got gummies. But my kid found them and ate them before I got to bring them in here to show y'all. But the joys of having a 6-year-old, right?
Yeah.
But that's cool. I like it when they do stuff like that and they put a little extra in there that, that little pack of gummies probably came out of the closet or the pantry, the cupboard, whatever they call it in Germany, in Deutschland. But it was probably old and moldy, but my kid ate it and he loved them.
Yeah,
Except for the lemon ones, he won't eat the lemon.
Yeah,
he's fine. It was been a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But I like that. That's a neat little touch, and it's really cool when people do stuff like that.
I agree.
One guy sent out these little origami fish.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's one of our I think subscribes to us too.
Oh.
He likes our Facebook page. So.
I like this guy. What about you, Zaxi? Where do you like to do your import shopping?
Pretty much where it's been mentioned already. Amazon, eBay. On eBay, I mainly use Yamatoku Classic. As far as the seller goes, they tend to have some pretty good stuff on there. And I will use Play Asia for more modern stuff. That's where I got my Devil May Cry from. So, those are pretty much the places that I go.
Yeah, there's a lot of options to buy stuff. So, I mean,
just have another guy I haven't bought from yet.
Okay.
He's another YouTuber. He's Vink from Famicom Dojo. He's got his little shop on I think Game Gavel.
Now, who is this now?
Vink from Famicom Dojo.
Okay, cool.
They've got their own little YouTube channel. So.
Alrighty. Oh, and there's another place I just thought of, and this was brought to my attention on VG Collect. Solaris Japan. They got a lot of cool stuff there as well.
Yeah, I saw that was what somebody brought up asking if it was good or not, right?
Yeah, and I didn't buy anything from them yet. I came this close to spending a fortune on stuff that I've always wanted, but I held off. I'm trying to save up for well, for Retropalooza, which we will all be at, and for other games coming out. So, but if you look at their store, Solaris Japan, you'll get the urge to buy things.
Yeah, I've been meaning to try out Samurai Buyer. That's one of those where it's like you need like a Japanese web or address in order to buy from Japan stores, so they're kind of a middleman in that way. It's just like a small fee, and you can buy it as much as you want for the prices you get in Japan.
Mhm.
Because technically those games are not supposed to be sold out of Japan.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be exported out of Japan. They don't do rental in Japan.
Even though now you can actually buy stuff from the Amazon Japan and get it shipped to the U.S.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, while talking about this, I just went on eBay real quick, looked up one game that I've been wanting to get. GameCube game. It's called Pokemon Box. It's basically just a storage system for the Ruby and Sapphire games. For the Japanese version, it's just $20. The U.S. version, apparently this was only exclusive to either Club Nintendo or from the Nintendo Store. It's over $280 for the U.S. version.
It's crazy.
So if you want to talk about getting a good deal,
Well, so before we get to the next topic, what is one piece of advice you can give to someone who's interested in importing a game? Mr. Nikon, do you have a piece of a little tidbit?
If you're buying on eBay, read the descriptions and see how they're shipping it. If they're doing C-mail, be prepared to wait a long fucking ass time.
Yes.
Because my Dreamcast, I didn't see because that was $30. It was a big box, so it would have been what, $100 to ship it normal. But I did see, and it took about 3 months for me to get it. So.
So to speak, cognizant of shipping time is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, look at the shipping time. So, because it could take a while.
Yeah. Turf, how about you?
Don't be scared, homie. Just do it. Yeah, don't be scared of it. I mean, I know it's a little intimidating at first, and it's a little like extra nerdy to be importing games, but just do it. It's there's a lot of stuff we missed out on. There's a lot of stuff that won't be ever released here. Give it a shot, man. There's good stuff. It's fun, and you can be the cool kid on the block that has Kid Dracula and nobody else does.
Zaxi?
not really that much else to say. Just shop around. You might find a better deal somewhere else.
And I'll say, if there's a game that you had your eye on, but it never got localized in your native tongue, import it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Okay, you can at least say you give it a shot. So that's our bits of advice for importing. And as a bit of a segue, our next topic kind of has a little bit to do with it, kind of doesn't. I can't recall whose idea this topic was. It was either Turf's or Zach Z. It was yours? Okay. Zach Z, why don't you introduce us to the wild and crazy world of repros?
Well, this just kind of came to me as a question. It's like, do reproductions of cartridges have a place in modern gaming? Because you got games like Little Samson that are ridiculously expensive, but there's not much stock for them. That's pretty much why it got so expensive. A high demand came and just less to go around.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of made me think, do reproductions of games out there, do they actually have a place or not? I mean, yeah, you get people who make fake cartridges. There's no denying that. I've come across a bunch on the Game Boy Advance. It really does piss me off when that happens. But I mean, if you know that it's fake, if you know it's a reproduction, it says reproduction, different color cartridge is that at all okay.
Interesting thought. Very interesting.
We
Well,
could,
go ahead, Mr. Nikon. Go ahead. Let's hear what you have to say.
well, sometimes people want to play the game on the original system, and they're just collecting it. I guess, why not? If it's more for like a collector thing, it's like I've got a reproduction of Little Samson that I collected. I'm like, it's not a
Well, I
collection.
mean-
It's not the real. It's not the real thing, but
Now, Turf has a real thing.
yeah.
I mean,
Can't the real thing.
I just use that as an example because it really is an expensive game, and it's one that's actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
But there's no way I would pay
And
the
it's
money for that.
heavily forfeited. Or forged, excuse me. Counterfeited. There we go. That's the word.
I was
gonna
like, what? You gave up?
Yeah, I used the wrong. Yeah, I used the wrong word. It's heavily counterfeited. You can buy reproduction labels and slap them on another game. There's as far as reproduction cartridges, if they're clearly marked, I don't really have a problem with it. Like what a lot of people do is they put it looks just like the original label, except in the very bottom corner it will say like reproduction or R or something like that, and that's not cool. If you're gonna make a reproduction, like you said, make a different color cartridge. For one thing, I would prefer it if they didn't, because it's too easy to swap the board out from the colored cartridge. If the board is a different color, like there's a guy that was making Play Choice 10 games, reproduction Play Choice 10 games. He was putting them on black printed circuit boards. That's great, but when because there's so many skeezy type folks out there they'll be shady and try to rip people off. Man, you're dancing in some nasty waters there. I mean, it's dangerous.
Here's a question.
Do what?
I had a question that I just thought of.
Yeah.
Like you have an original game, original cartridge and all that, but the label is screwed. By putting a new label and putting it on there, how about that? If it's not an original label, it's a reprinted label.
Just a label? That's fine.
Everything else is original.
I mean, it would have to be
If you put a
extremely
reproduction
damaged.
label on something, if you put a reproduction label on it, it needs to be clearly marked reproduction. It's just like any other kind of, because you're playing the collector's market. If you're buying a Little Samson, we'll just keep using that one. If you buy a Little Samson and the label's trash and you put another Little Samson label on it, you may not intend to sell it, but eventually you're going to get rid you might get rid of it, or it'll end up in somebody else's hands, whatever. And then they're going to try to pass it off as the real thing. And any kind of, like comic books, if you reprinted a cover and put it on you tear a cover off of Action Comics #1, it's worth a fraction of what it would be if it was in mint condition. But then you get really good at printing a cover off and you're all shady and you print off a new cover and put that thing on there, it's worth whatever Superman's first appearance is. It's
$5.
Any kind of collecting. If it's not original, man, it's not worth near the what it would be if it was. Now, if you're gonna print a reproduction label, make sure it's clearly marked. Preferably, it just has different art on it. But for collection purposes, let's be honest. If you really just want to play Little Samson, you can buy a power pack, which holds the SD card, and you can put all the ROMs, every Nintendo ROM on it, and use that and play it on original hardware for $150, something like that, versus the $900 that Little Samson is. So that's not really an excuse to have to put Little Samson inside of another cart and put a new label on it. You're just wanting to put it up there and say, look, I've got Little Samson. I think like reproductions of games that actually came out here, I'm not a fan of, but that's just me. And because people will pass them off as the real thing, and we're dealing with a collector's market, not just a player's market. A lot of game collectors are players too, but there's a gray area, or not say a gray area. There's bleeding in the two groups. They go across to each other, but if you just want to play the game, emulate it. But if you don't get a reproduction cartridge, because that's just feeding into these people that are going to try to take advantage of folks and put these counterfeit carts out there.
Yep. I don't have any repros, so I really can't contribute much to this. But I kind of like one idea. If going kind of back to the imports thing, if there's a game that came out or that never came out in America, I know there's reproduction carts of, like Secret of Mana 2. There's a repro of that, and it has the English translation, so it kind of looks like it's the real thing. Obviously, it's not. I think that's neat. I wouldn't count it as part of a collection, though. I would just say, hey, this is fun. I can play this now, and I don't have to worry about messing with patches or emulators, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's why I actually got the Fire Emblem Binding Blade, or Sword of Seals, as the cartridge actually says. It's the game that has Roy from the Smash Brothers series.
Yep.
That we never got.
That Fire Emblem game or Secret of Mana 2 never came out here. There's no chance that you could find one of those and it'd be like, hey, this is the real thing, because it wasn't made. I mean, that's like me finding a leprechaun and going, it's a real leprechaun. It's not real.
That's me Lucky Charms.
So, I mean, yes, I can have as many fake leprechauns as I want.
You're just drunk and it was St. Patrick's Day. I just haven't beat a midget.
I got the guy that used to sing with Kid Rock and dressed him in green. And anyways, no, like stuff like that. That's awesome. I've got a copy of Drax Night Out, which was an unreleased NES game that people put on cartridges and printed a label off, and I paid like $40 for it or something like that. But so I mean, if it didn't come out, there's not a real thing for it to counterfeit, yes, I think that's awesome. That's just really, really cool. It's another way for us to have games have a tangible object that's ours. I've got a copy of the Wily Wars for the Genesis that somebody put together, which Wily Wars only came out on the Sega channel here. It came out, in Europe and Japan, which it's Mega Man 1, 2, and 3 on a cartridge with 16-bit graphics, kind of like Super Mario All-Stars did. They did that with Mega Man, and it's great. And I was glad to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
But there was not a real NTSC Wily Wars, so there's no chance of it being a counterfeit. I can't sell it to somebody as the real thing because the real thing doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense to y'all?
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. You're getting very passionate about this, Turv. You're getting heated.
Well, it's out there, man. It really is out there. There's a lot of, and it's sad that you really have to look for stuff like that now. Like, I'm in the market for Flintstones 2. I've been looking for one, got the money stashed away and all that noise. So I'm going to be buying Flintstones 2 eventually. That's the other super counterfeited game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Samson and Flintstones are the two that they're really rare. They're like, Samson's a fantastic game, but Flintstones is still a good game. And it's like the crown jewel in people's collections. And you have to worry about fakes so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am pretty passionate about this because it's just there's shitty people in the world and it sucks.
Yeah, I always thought about like, what if someone were to take a label of a rare game like your Flintstones 2s or your Little Samsons, slap it over a copy of Mario Duck Hunt, and then try to pass that off. Like if you're in a store or like a flea market, like they have no way to test the game there. So I mean, like there's.
Let me tell you, I can already answer that. People have done that with the whole GameStop retro trade-in stuff.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, I mean, you go over to Pat the NES Punk and his podcast. They have several videos on that. One of them being a Chrono Trigger game, or supposed Chrono Trigger game, which was really like an NFL game, or NHL. I forget which one, but...
It wasn't Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, it was just a label of Chrono Trigger slapped on a sports game. And we're apparently went around to several people.
Yeah, that would piss me off. Oh, that... And the fact that people would stoop that low, because, you know, when you get right down to it, we just want to play the games. Even if they're a little bit expensive, we want to play it eventually. So why would they do? People are assholes. I can't.
Because people want money,
and that's
and they want
but
They're
they
greedy
want
assholes.
the easiest way that they can.
But that's kind of getting off topic. So, so Turf, we know your position on repros. Mr. Nikon, what's your final position on them?
Yeah, if you just want to, yeah, I don't know. You just want to get to play the game
Yeah.
and have something that actually looks like a cartridge and all that. Yeah, but saying it's for a collection and it's collectible, no. So I'm, you know, I don't know.
Okay, I get you. Zach, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, like I said, I mean, I got one right here. I'm perfectly fine with it, just as long as you're not destroying another game in order to make it.
Yeah.
What
As
if
for me,
someone's
you can't really like.
destroying?
What was that, Mr. Nikon?
What if someone's destroying Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? Would that be okay?
Well, eventually you'd have no Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures, and suddenly it's a $500 game, and you're wondering why people can't get it.
well,
There we go.
kind of going down that path. How many Mario Duck Hunts did you used to see when you were out looking? I mean, there would be
Oh, they're
stacks
everywhere.
of 50 of them, right?
Yeah.
There's not that many Mario Duck Hunts anymore because people have used them as donor cards because it was the most abundant game there was, and there's just not. If a store has 5 of them, that's a lot anymore.
Yeah,
I remember a guy at Con was selling. He had like a stack of like 50 of them. He was selling them for $1 a piece. This was years ago, but just to put things in perspective, $1 for a copy of that. So
also, it tends to be a cartridge that people use for art and stuff. I've seen people do that. And where, like, one person on YouTube, I honestly forget the name of the person. It was so long since I've seen the video. But she went and took, like, 10 games and just went through the different ways to kind of, or that have been rumored to destroy a game. Like, she went and just put one in a whole bunch of rubbing alcohol. She took a drill and went right through the circuit board.
No, I'd kill it.
Buried one in the snow.
that bitch. Does he have no respect for gaming at
Well,
all?
I mean, pretty much
No,
the only
it
one
wasn't-
that actually destroyed it was the whole, actually putting the holes through the circuit board. But still, I mean, you got probably more people doing some stuff like that than you
Yeah.
think.
And everybody, I mean, that video, I mean, I've seen that video, and it's been 5 or 10 years ago when it was made. It wasn't, gaming wasn't near as popular, or collecting wasn't near as popular as it is now. It was a very niche thing. And then now, I mean, so there was infinite number of Mario Duck Hunts out there because, you know, a tenth
it
of the
was-
people that are collecting now did then.
Oh yeah.
So it really wasn't. I saw that video and I wasn't appalled at it or anything. So, but now, like, it's a lot of this donor cart stuff. Man, there's a lot of, there's not near as many Mario Duck Hunts out there as there was. There's not as many Top Gun. That's another one that people use all the time. They're used to see stacks of Top Gun, and now if there's 5 or 10 of them, that's a lot. So that's another thing that it's that's kind of hurting, I guess, the
fun of collecting.
market, or the thing about repros is the donor cards.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
Yeah.
thankfully, there are now people out there who are making new circuit boards for this stuff. So that's always good.
Yeah.
Right.
I get you. Very interesting topic. That was. This is something I really didn't know much about, but it was interesting to see everyone's perspective on it because I still really just don't give a care either way. Like what we were talking about with slapping a fake label on a different game, that's kind of a different topic for another time, but yeah, I don't know. I think that might be something that for all we know can be another discussion in another episode. But that being said, with that, oh yeah, thanks for that. But that being said, this is the last episode for the merry month of May, and as is tradition here at our parents' basement, we are going to talk about some of our favorite pickups for the month, which I'm always excited to do because I like seeing what everyone got. And well, I guess I'll start, but I think Zach's going to want to do this first one with me at the same time. So,
that one.
you ready?
3, 2, 1.
Boom. Yes.
Yeah.
In the middle of May, we both got Valkyria Chronicles Remastered for the PlayStation 4, and
Launch edition with the steelbook.
yeah, with the steel book, which is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I have a confession to make. I haven't played it yet.
Same here.
He hasn't played it yet, but we are going to play it at some point in America because we both played the one on the PlayStation 3. It was awesome, and this promises to be more awesome because this is such a good game.
Honestly, I gotta admit right now, I went and took the instruction manual out of my PlayStation 3 one and put it in my PS4 one, just so there was something there.
Well, that was sweet of you.
But now that means I gotta find a new instruction manual for the PS3 version.
Oh, I just gave that one to a friend. So, but other than that, I also, thanks to a trade with a buddy at VG Collect, I finally got started in the Onimusha series for the PlayStation 2, and I'm really having a lot of fun with it. I'm on the first one right now, which is this one. Despite the tank-like controls, this is like part survival horror, part action. Takes place in feudal Japan, and for a game that came out in 2001, it looks gorgeous. I'm so glad I got into this series. Finally, I don't know what took me so long.
Oh, so you're the one who bought all those up.
Just not all of those, just the Onimusha ones.
Yeah, you're the one who bought up all the Onimusha ones.
Yeah, from GF.
Yeah, you bastard.
That was me. I got him. You did it. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I already had 1, 2, and 3. I was looking for the other ones.
Well, that's what I got. I got 1, 2, 3, and Dawn of Dreams.
Oh,
And the fighting one is on its way because I found it for like $5, so I was like, I can't pass that up. So, but yeah, May has been pretty. May wasn't as busy. June is going to be crazy expensive and crazy busy, not only with my birthday but with a bunch of new releases coming out. So I had to kind of curtail my spending a little bit. That said, Zaxi, what did you get this month that you want to show off?
I just remembered it because of Cashel here, but also from GF, I got Folklore on a PS3.
Oh, good one.
That's one I've been hearing a whole lot about that I've been wanting to check out. But yeah, I got that from him for about $15, so not a bad price.
Mm-mm.
I also picked up this game this month, Doom.
Never heard of it.
Doom.
The re-release that just came out. If you're looking for a good single-player shooter, definitely get this. I mean, it's just good old-school fun with more modern controls.
And lots of blood, right?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, what was Jenny's little thing about Last of Us? That it was a nasty game?
The scary game.
Or the scary game? Yeah. This one will creep around more, probably.
The angry game.
The angry game, that's it.
Because people are shooting and screaming, and she's trying to sleep.
Oh, this you go through guys with a freaking chainsaw.
Oh yeah, I haven't played Doom
That's
since.
metal.
God, I was playing.
Seriously, the remakes of the ID games recently have been so great. You had Shadow Warrior, that was amazing. Wolfenstein, again, amazing. And Doom, honestly, I think that this is my favorite out of all of them.
Wow.
Very fast paced, don't have to worry about reloading, and where it's got health packs and glory kills, which give you health, and they go by so quick that it's like 2 seconds.
Wait. Glory what?
Glory kills.
Not
Get
Glory
out
Home.
of the gutter. Oh my
Glory
god.
Home.
But yeah, I mean, like one of the ones you'll just go up and punch the guy twice, and where you get health you can get health and ammo that way, as opposed to actually searching around trying to find the health packs.
Pretty cool.
God, I haven't really played Doom since high school, and like on a 486 computer or something like that.
Well, the times have changed.
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot of fun.
Yep.
And other than that, my big purchase was that I got an Xbox One. And with that, I got 6 games.
Okay.
Someone's been busy.
Yeah, Dead Rising 3. If you played Dead Rising, you know what to expect. Gears of War Ultimate. I thought I'd try to get back into Gears, and it's just not working for me. I don't know. Killer Instinct, actually really good. I'm surprised because that was from the same guys who made the Thor and Captain America games on the Wii. And those are terrible. This one really pisses me off because I just started playing it the day that they decided to turn off the servers, and that's Project Spark. And it sucks because it's actually a really amazing game as far as creation tools go. Rare Replay, 30 rare games. It was only $20.
Can't beat that. That's really good. That's a good deal.
And finally, Sunset Overdrive. It's from Insomniac, the guys who made Ratchet and Clank. It's a pretty fun game to actually play. It's one of the ones that I would recommend you get if you get an Xbox One.
Well, someone had a very productive month of May. My goodness.
Well, here's the thing. I bought my Xbox refurbished,
Mm-hmm.
and so it only cost me $200.
Cool.
Most of those Xbox One games I got for under 15.
Is there anything else you wanted to share with your month pickups?
That's gonna be it.
Because I was like, I don't know who's gonna top that, but we'll try. Turf, how was May for you?
Well, this month I'm about to make a very big purchase that isn't a game at all. So I've been saving
That's right.
money, but I slipped up a little bit and bought a couple things. I bought this. Y'all already saw it early in the month. Pro Protector 2,
Mm-hmm.
the one that came from France that I paid way too much for shipping on. And today, I haven't even opened it yet. It's still wrapped up in the shiny, nice plastic. I got Ninja Turtles that came in. And I wouldn't have got this. I was going to wait, but Amazon has that deal that if you have Prime, you get a discount if you pre-order something. So it came out Tuesday. I ordered it Monday night about 10 o'clock because, yeah, I did. I just had a moment of weakness, I guess. That's all I did. That's, I think, everything I have this month.
Not bad.
Other than I slipped and fell into this dirty world of Steam.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And yeah, it's filthy, it's disgusting and icky and all that, but humble bundles, man. You get like 12 games for $9. You can't not buy it. And so I've bought like 20 something Steam games this month, but that's neither here nor there because I spent about $20 on it. So
yeah, I wanted to get the Turtles game. Only the thing is, the day before it came out, I was like, "Geez, do I really want the PS4 version, or would it look better as a Xbox One?"
I mean, the heroes in the half shell are green, and the Xbox One covers are green.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You gotta be aesthetically pleasing.
You know what? I'll
if you're gonna
cancel it for now and get it later.
yeah, that's it. That's all I did this month.
T-U-R-T-L-E power teenage mutant.
All right, Mr. Nikon,
Sorry.
how was your month of May?
I don't think I really bought it. I spent all my money last month buying stuff from Japan, so I had to take it easy this month.
Well, looks like Zach got the most haul.
I think I did get one game.
Oh, what'd you get?
Got this guy.
Ooh, Rockman and Bass?
Yep.
Or Rockman and Forte?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Whatever, Mega Man and Bass.
Mega Man and Bass
I would
Fishing.
say Bass.
Bass.
Well, I mean, his dog's called Treble, so it's obviously bass.
So
I know, Jack.
he's
You know,
not
I'm all
a
about
bass
that
fisherman.
bass. About that.
What's
bass.
up?
No
Turf's
trouble.
all about that bass.
I'm all
About that
about
bass,
that
no trouble.
bass.
He's okay. Before we have an all-out dance party, I think it's time we start wrapping this up. So, Turf, where can we listen to this episode again?
Well, if you stumbled across this episode and you want more of Our Parents' Basement, you can check us out on YouTube. That's the easiest place to find the video so you can see this lovely pixelated face. If you just want the audio and you want to hear the sweet melodic tones that are Cashel, you can check us out on iTunes. You can check us out on Stitcher or Google Play. So hit any of those up, download it. If you're on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button so you know when we're going to be live. If you really want to know when we're going to be live, hit it up. We always tweet it out on Twitter and Facebook, so go ahead and hit those. You need to go to Facebook, and you need to check out the contest we have running. That we're going to be giving away a couple of these, couple of Steam games, and a digital copy of Deadpool. So you can own a copy of Deadpool or some really cool games. Go to Facebook, like, comment, subscribe, all that noise. Twitter, we're at OPB Podcasts. Facebook.com/OPB Podcast, or you can send me an email at opbpodcast@gmail. So there you go. Interact with us. Say hi. What's up?
Check our
Thumbs up.
website.
Be awesome. There we go.
Yep.
Oh, we have a website that
Yeah,
I completely forgot to mention. All of our episodes are listed on ourparentsbasement.com.
you can
So go
comment on the
check that
website.
one out.
Not to mention, you can find links to all our social media and where you can listen to the podcast.
You can probably find links to link.
You can find anything if you search hard enough.
You can find a way
But-
to send link.
But that is neither here nor there. Well, everyone, this was a lot of fun, really informative. I really enjoyed hearing about all this stuff, and I cannot wait for next week's episode. It's going to be just as fun. So that being said, thank you for watching, or if you're listening to this now, thanks for listening, and we will be seeing you real soon.
Peace.
Later.